But as you can look down here, you'll see straight, almost like canals, all around this site. Just running down the length of one of the mounds, surrounded by water. There's mound after mound in concentric rings surrounded by water. This we're passing by is to the southeast of the Bilbo Mound. Well, it's south and southeast of the Bilbo. Hey, take a left.
Take the canal.
Now I'm panning around. To my left is the area that's designated as the Bilbo Mound, but this is pretty far away from the Effigy. It's on the other side of the Truman Parkway, but you can see some you can still see mounds here in the swamp. Now it looks like the sewage plant must have bored through a lot of this.
Joe and I have come out here to the end of the Truman Parkway and President Street, and we have found out there's a site here called the Bilbo Site, and we've got obvious mounds. That's supposedly the oldest mound in North America, dating back to 3540 BC. Joe's trying to find a way in there, and it's kind of a construction site. You see where we are. He's having difficulty, but we're gonna get on it and find our way in and out of here. It's finding a lot of stuff. We looked in these tops of these pieces of dirt here and located a lot of different kinds of things. So we're just questioning what we're finding. We're seeing a lot of old stuff, but we're trying to find the mound. He's going over this. Yeah. No, I can't see you. Where you at? Yeah, I see you now. Have you found something? Hold on, stand still. Let me zoom in on you on video. And you see something? Yeah, I see a white shirt. Stand still a minute. Well, lost you out there. Come back where you were. I think Joe just found the Bilbo Mound. I'm going to cut it off till we get over there. Thank you.
We're on the southwest corner of the mound, trying to get a scope of the land from behind it. What we're seeing back here is these little islands. Now, we're seeing a lot of these perfect little rounded areas. We're seeing some perfect corners, but of course it's what I think is going on here. There's breaks in them every once in a while, where you'll see a break that goes in through to the other ring. So I guess what probably was meant is when you were walking to the center, you probably walked through this area that's flooded now, and it's been flooded since then. And it looks like the city used it, basically drained some sewage into it, drill a big pipe in here and started pumping sewage in it, and so we've had even more water come in since then. But we're gonna, if we walk down here, we could see, you can see how this thing rounds. It continues. You can't see this from the sky. You can only see next to the railroad where the structure is rounded or the waterway is rounded. But if you look down from here all the way around, you can see it's a perfect arc. It's a perfect turn. I'd like to go down there a little bit. Here at the Bilbo Mound. Wonder They have a little sign here. Now this may be the trail to the Bilbo Mound. It's posted no trespassing, but we are really afraid that these construction workers over here are digging into it. And we feel that there's a real need to investigate this. So we're going back here anyway.
Here's the second ring going up right here. And at the end of it, we noticed there was a paisley little piece of ground that kind of just was at the end. We're going to try to see that from the air. But all this is really interesting. You gotta grasp this stuff. That this is a really ancient Indian site. Thank you.
Now you probably can't see it from the camera, but there's in the center of all these mounds, there's no trees, just like the one we're walking down. And Richard, if you'll film while we're walking down the floor, you can see this ancient path. There's not two tracks as if by a car. It looks like no car has ever been down here, but you can see the little path. Now, to some extent, this trail might have been being used for the past 4,000 years in some respects, and so it still exists today. If you see this little spit of land right here, this is the tip of the concentric circles. Now, if you look at it on Google, you'll see on the west edge of the mound site what looks like two concentric rows. That's the outer row right there. And then there's the second row is right there. So you got row after row after row like moats going back to where the goddess Effigy is somewhere deep inside there, and I guess we're gonna have to get a boat or some really good snake boots.
A drone.
And a drone.
This is a paisley piece of ground. Joe's already shot it from his angle. We didn't get it from my angle, but this is the other side of that ditch where it delineates over. So you can see that this is an effigy mound, and it's shaped into a ceremonial rain goddess or moon goddess. This is the outside of the ring, and you can see in the videos from the topography from above that this is the outside ring, the northwest quadrant of that mound. And Joe's kind of going down into a ditch-like feature. It seems like possibly one day somebody might have dug into it, but it's still pretty much left intact like it was. Be interesting to know what's under all this stuff. Joe, you having a good time down there?
Yeah, man.
Good. So we're going to get off.
I'm seeing this is definitely, however, we just said that trail's been marked 100 years, but maybe not all the way of it, because if you look down here, you can see where the cities come in and put a drainage right underneath here.
All right. I'm going to get off then.
If you come look up, go ahead and film it.
Okay.
Everything's evident.
Okay, I see it now. This is a drain pipe. It's kind of camouflaged. You can see where Joe's standing on the end of it.
Come down here and look what this fucker is made out of. Holy shit.
Probably made out of ceramics back 100 years ago.
I just lost my glasses in the mud.
Oh no, well I got some spares.
Come look at this drainage thing and see, did they make them out of pebbles in the 30s or something?
Yeah.
Okay, we're standing here on the northwest corner of the Bilbo Mound. Now if you look on the images on Google, 1994, 2003, all the way up to 2014, you can see that the ring breaks away at the northwest corner from the railroad track and starts arcing like this. And you can see two rings. Now, right up there at the railroad tracks, you can see, if you follow along the railroad tracks there, you can see that they go on straight. They're going straight north. But now if you come back and follow the mound from over here, from the same corner where it breaks away from the railroad track, now follow the mound down here, you can see how it curves and it continues making that circle. Now from Google Earth you can also see the second ring, and if we look back here into the swamp, Richard can follow with the camera along the second ring. There's a really good place to kind of film the other edge of the second ring of mounds from right here. And then there's a third ring beyond that. You can still see the edge of it. So this is mound after mound in concentric rings going toward the center, where in the center there is the shape of a goddess, the rain goddess. Now, I guess the Creek Native Americans would go around in circles, going closer and closer and closer to the center and to dance until they reach the center to make rain or ask the goddess for rain. But this is actually some of this was continued by the Creek Indians, but if the first reports on this site and the reports of Richard Thornton are right, this mound is 4,000 years old or older, and so we might see the very beginnings of this culture that continued in the southeast up until the day right here in this mound. But we're going to have to get a means to get back there without contracting some kind of a swamp disease. You can see there's a lot of construction work that's been going on around here, and the more we look back in this area, we see that everything is surrounded by a moat, and there's more moats deeper inside. There's ring upon ring of these mounds that are overgrown with trees, and I would assume that the goddess Effigy is somewhere in the center of it back here, but we are going to need some serious snake boots to get back there.
We've reached the other bottom north southwestern end of the mound. You can see it makes a turn and goes back east from here. And here's the corner. According to Joe, found another corner of the mound.
There's a corner right there.
Okay. Corner of the mound right here off the
call it a delineation.
Delineation. Ground goes up and down. I think I see some people in there camping too. Right there's a trail going down, and there's a car, my car. There's the archaeological vehicle.